Buffalo Bills Pro Bowl safety Jordan Poyer was forced to cancel a major charity golf event benefiting individuals with traumatic injuries due to politics. The two-day celebrity tournament, which was set to take place to benefit the Erie County Medical Center Foundation, was canceled because of the major blowback Poyer received for choosing to host the event at Trump National Doral Course in Miami. Are we really at the point where people can't even have a charity event at a Trump property or plan an event at a Trump property without major backlash and threats to sponsors? Just by making this point previously, I was assailed by the left for saying it. Let me ask our Democrat on the panel, Morgan Harper, former Democratic Senate candidate. Are you bothered by this, or do you think it's legitimate? People will say, well, that they shouldn't give any credibility to Trump or to a golf course that he owns.
I mean, my question is, you're trying to raise money for charity. Trump is one of the most polarizing people in this country. So if your goal is actually to raise as much money for your cause, I have serious questions as why you would even get there. Choose a place that doesn't have the most polarizing person in America's name on it and go about your way.
All right, so let's assume it was a mistake. If the goal, if
he thought it was Barron Trump.
Yeah. Let's even assume that. What do you make of the fact that people were calling for them to pull out? That they were basically, it sounds like, threatening the sponsors, et cetera, because it's at a Trump hotel.
I think we live in a free country. People are entitled to their views, and at this point, per some of our earlier discussion, former President Trump doesn't respect basic and fundamental values of this country, including the rule of law, including protecting our national security. And if that's a problem with you, then I think you have a right to express it, and there could be consequences to someone who is willing to promote him.
Yeah, I guess I just think it's different when you're talking about a charity event, right? If it was a business, I would say, okay, you want to boycott the business, I get it. But this is an event for charity.
Well, look, I think first and foremost, this type of fervor, I think it's supposed to be an event for traumatic injuries. I think our politics has dealt a traumatic injury to America.
Yeah.
There's a real problem here. We can't separate the good that was attempted to be done from the actual venue. I would also say that I'm pretty sure most of those teams and those sponsors were aware of the venue when they signed up to be a part of that event. So it seems like a little bit of Johnny come lately. They got a little bit of pressure, duck and cover. So this doesn't seem to be a matter of principle to me. It seems to be a matter of convenience. That's why I think it's a crock in many ways, because these people, if you care about the issue, to your point, if that's your position that anything associated with Trump is off limits, you would know that when you were asked to be engaged with it. You would know that when the invitation went out. With this, all of a sudden, the event is coming up and you get one email and suddenly you're going to effectively kamikaze an event meant to help people experiencing a great deal of difficulties. But that to me doesn't.
It seems to me that this further adds to those on the right who say that there's Trump derangement syndrome, right? I mean, I can sit here and I can tell you, as I said in a previous segment, about his legal defense and criticize it without feeling like when I hear the name Trump, that's what I feel like a lot of people on the left, when they hear the name Trump, they literally lose their minds.
Yeah.
And they lose the ability to even have a rational discussion.
Should we not be losing our minds?
No, about just hearing the name Trump and saying, oh, it's at a Trump event, it's at a Trump hotel, and therefore it's a charity and I'm going to go. That's different than saying Donald Trump is running for president. I think that's really dangerous. We're talking about a charity event at his hotel.
Well, what we don't, sorry, Dan,
Yeah.
but what we don't know is people could still donate. So they're saying they're not going to engage at this event.
They're not going to the event.
We don't know that. But I will say, you're also equating, though, some fundamental disagreement about you're not going to support this event with, oh, everyone is just up in arms about Trump. I don't think that's what we're talking about. They could have made a very reasoned position that we're not going to support this event at Trump's property.
But again, but the only reason you would not support a charity event because it's at a Trump property, even though Trump, this is about the charity, right, is if you are literally losing your mind over Trump.
I don't agree.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
I was in Buffalo for 3 of the 4 years that the Bills lost the Super Bowl in a row. And to me, this is just one more sign that the Bills can't take a win ever.
Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNationNow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.